I've had zero contact with Meghan, not since she borrowed those dresses, and they simply didn't return. It was a shame, really, but David and I have always been steadfast supporters of the monarchy.
The fashion world is still reeling tonight from a revelation that has sent seismic ripples far beyond the glossy pages of magazines and deep into the glittering heart of celebrity circles. Sources close to Victoria Beckham reveal that the iconic designer has finally broken her silence on her fractured and much speculated relationship with Meghan Markle. Victoria declared emphatically, "I have no contact with her whatsoever, not since that dress incident. Meghan took my designs and she never returned them. My husband and I are always on the side of the British royal family." This explosive admission has ignited a wildfire of speculation, confirming long-whispered rumours about Meghan's alleged habit of borrowing high-end designer pieces without ever returning them, or worse, treating them as her own. What tabloids once dismissed as idle gossip now stands validated by one of the most respected names in fashion, a woman who once lent pieces to Meghan with nothing but trust and friendship. But here's the truly staggering part. Sources suggest Victoria genuinely believed their bond was real and mutual, until the harsh reality of those unreturned garments hit home. The timing of her statement couldn't be more damning, landing amid fresh scrutiny over Meghan's re-wearing of a green galvan gown from a 2022 variety shoot, which reignited accusations that she had kept loaned items without permission. Victoria's words hit like a sniper's bullet. Palace insiders whisper that the Beckhams, long aligned with the royal institution, view this as the final straw in a saga of perceived entitlement and disregard. Yet sources close to Meghan's Montecito camp insist she remains convinced her actions were entirely justified, perhaps even standard practice in Hollywood circles, where borrowing without formal return is often shrugged off. What makes this revelation so extraordinary is how it exposes the chasm between American celebrity norms and British expectations of propriety. Victoria's designs aren't just clothes, they're meticulously crafted pieces lent with trust. But Meghan's alleged pattern of keeping borrowed items has left a trail of frustrated designers and shaken assistants in her wake. The irony is almost cinematic. Once, Victoria Beckham and Meghan Markle seemed poised for a glamorous alliance that could have redefined celebrity friendships. Victoria generously lent Meghan thousands of pounds worth of clothes, including a coat, dresses, boots and handbags, totalling around £6,000 for her first royal Christmas at Sandringham. Sources recall Meghan seeking Victoria's advice on building a sophisticated wardrobe, admiring her poised, elegant style, yet beneath the surface, cracks were forming. Insiders reveal Meghan reportedly grew irritated when she discovered the Beckhams' vast wealth, multiple homes, private jets, and even yacht invitations, all while she positioned herself as a future duchess. She allegedly saw little in common with Victoria beyond surface glamour. Then came the leaks. A story about Victoria offering beauty tips hit the press, and Meghan suspected betrayal. Harry allegedly confronted David Beckham, accusing Victoria of tipping off journalists, a claim vehemently denied, further inflaming tensions. The rift deepened when the Beckhams attended the Sussex wedding, but were excluded from the exclusive evening reception. Sources suggest Victoria felt insulted, particularly after lending pieces with no sales boost or publicity in return. Yet insiders say the real breaking point came when Meghan assumed the borrowed designs were gifts or perks rather than loans. Victoria, protective of her brand, demanded returns but faced repeated delays and excuses. Fashion experts shook their heads at what they called a fundamental misunderstanding. Borrowed items in high-profile shoots or designer loans are catalogued meticulously, and failure to return them can jeopardize the livelihoods of stylists, assistants, and coordinators. Yet Meghan's Hollywood-shaped perspective, where samples sometimes become keepsakes, clashed catastrophically with Victoria's strict professional boundaries. The whispers grew louder with the infamous Variety photo shoot scandal, a controversy that refused to fade quietly into the background. In late 2022, during one of Meghan's first major post-royal magazine covers, journalist Vanessa Gregor dropped a bombshell on Andrew Gold's Heretics podcast, revealing that multiple expensive dresses and pieces of jewellery disappeared after the high-profile session. Sources from the production team reportedly discovered the missing items. Months later, during a routine inventory check that led to frantic inquiries, Meghan's camp allegedly claimed she kept the garments to prevent them from ending up on eBay, purportedly sold by opportunistic crew members exploiting her fame. This justification left fashion insiders dumbfounded and openly mocking the reasoning behind her actions. Proper etiquette experts emphasize that celebrities must formally request purchases or accept outright gifts. Silent retention risks blaming innocent assistants or stylists whose jobs depend on meticulous accounting. This wasn't an isolated incident. Similar rumours swirled around other shoots for magazines like Harper's Bazaar, allegedly limiting lending options to avoid giving Meghan access to designer pieces. The pattern paints a striking picture of breathtaking entitlement, where borrowed luxury is treated as a personal perk rather than a professional loan. Then came the ultimate confirmation. Meghan boldly re-wore the emerald green Galvan Uzwi gown, valued at nearly $1,700, in promotional images for her 2025 Netflix holiday special. The exact same one-shoulder dress from the variety shoot reappeared, igniting fresh accusations that she had indeed kept loaned items without clear permission. Her spokesperson fired back swiftly, branding the insinuations as categorically false and highly defamatory, insisting all retained pieces followed transparent contractual agreements. Yet the damage was done. Fashion circles buzzed with frustration, viewing the rewear as tone-deaf proof of the rumours. Experts remained scathing, describing Meghan's alleged reasoning as naive, at best, and delusional, at worst. Samples aren't resale fodder. They're unique prototypes meant for return. But from Meghan's perspective, sources whisper, fame grants protective rights over her image and the clothes adorning it. Victoria Beckham's explosive statement about her own dress incident and unreturned designs, lent in good faith, now resonates as part of a broader pattern, a chorus of designers quietly closing ranks against perceived grifting. The variety drama didn't just echo it. It amplified every lingering doubt about Meghan's respect for fashion's unspoken rules. What makes this saga even more riveting is how it exposes the precarious trust underpinning celebrity loans. One misstep, and doors slam shut forever. Industry insiders whisper that Meghan's access to couture's inner sanctum has already been reshaped behind closed doors at the Beckham household. The reaction to Victoria's bombshell statement has been one of resolute unity and long simmering frustration. Sources close to the family reveal that David Beckham and their children have harboured deep resentment toward Meghan for years, viewing her alleged actions as not just ungrateful but profoundly entitled. The dress incident, where Meghan reportedly borrowed multiple high-value designs from Victoria's collection and failed to return them, served as the tipping point, crystallising a sense of betrayal building since the early days of the Sussexes' royal tenure. Insiders whisper that David, typically mild-mannered and diplomatic, was left absolutely furious, particularly after perceived slights like exclusion from the Sussex wedding's intimate evening reception. Despite attending the ceremony, the Beckhams had extended genuine generosity, lending pieces worth thousands without expectation of payment, only to feel dismissed and used. Victoria reportedly endured the situation in silence for far too long, prioritising professionalism over confrontation, but the cumulative weight of unreturned items and strained interactions finally prompted her candid declaration. What particularly stings the Beckham camp is the contrast in loyalties. David has cultivated warm, enduring ties with the royal family, collaborating closely with Prince William on initiatives like the London Air Ambulance charity and earning praise as a huge royalist who jumps at every request from the Prince of Wales. His ambassadorship for King Charles's foundation, complete with shared passions like beekeeping, has deepened that bond, culminating in honours that underscore his alignment with the institution. Sources suggest the Beckhams see immense value in positive royal associations, boosting their brand's authenticity and global appeal, while viewing any lingering Sussex connections as toxic amid ongoing controversies. Victoria's emphatic words, "My husband and I are always on the side of the British royal family," aren't mere rhetoric. They're a deliberate affirmation of where their allegiances lie in this fractured landscape. Palace observers note this positioning is both savvy and heartfelt, earning invitations to high-profile events and mutual respect. Yet, the human element remains poignant. Victoria is said to have felt genuine hurt by accusations of leaking stories, vehemently denied, and the gradual ghosting that followed. Now, with her statement out in the open, sources describe a sense of profound relief. No more tiptoeing around the truth. The fashion community's brutal response to Meghan's reported borrowing habits has only amplified the Beckhams' quiet vindication, with stylists and designers calling such behaviour professionally devastating and emphasising how it erodes the trust fundamental to lender-celebrity relationships. The Beckhams are fiercely protective of their hard-built empire. This episode reinforced a clear boundary for those who reciprocated. As one insider put it, the family has moved on decisively, focusing on thriving partnerships that align with their values, leaving the Montecito drama firmly in the rearview mirror. This steadfast royal solidarity not only shields their reputation, but elevates it, proving that in the glittering but cutthroat world of celebrity, choosing sides wisely pays dividends. The fallout extends deeper into fashion corridors than many realise, with whispers circulating among designers, stylists, and magazine editors about Meghan's alleged borrowing habits. Sources reveal that after the Beckham incident and the resurfaced Variety photoshoot drama, where Meghan re-wore a striking emerald green galvan US gown years later, prompting fresh accusations of keeping loan items, many in the industry have grown increasingly cautious. Neil Sean, a well-connected royal commentator, has long highlighted how word spreads lightning fast in these circles. One publication quietly alerts another about potential issues with returns, leading to restricted access for future collaborations. Harper's Bazaar, for instance, reportedly offered Meghan curated selections rather than full choice, signalling a lack of trust in letting her pick pieces she might wish to keep permanently. Fashion experts emphasize that while celebrities occasionally retain samples, especially unique sizes unfit for resale, the standard protocol demands clear communication, purchases, or explicit gifts. Returns are meticulously tracked to protect budgets and staff livelihoods. Unaccounted items can lead to blame falling on assistants or interns, a risk professionals take very seriously. Meghan's team has vehemently denied any impropriety, insisting all actions were transparent and contractual. Yet the consensus among insiders remains one of deep frustration. This perceived pattern has led to tangible consequences. Brands are now hesitant to loan coveted pieces, fearing delays or mysterious disappearances. Prominent stylists describe the behaviour as professionally risky, noting it erodes the mutual trust essential for red carpet and editorial partnerships. One senior PR executive confided that while Meghan's exposure once boosted sales, the risks now outweigh the rewards. For many fashion houses, the broader industry reaction has been a quiet but firm drawing of boundaries. Designers like those at Galvan reportedly view such incidents as emblematic of entitlement clashing with professional norms. Sources suggest this has accelerated Meghan's shift toward purchasing or re-wearing owned items as loans dry up. Victoria Beckham's bold statement has only amplified these whispers, emboldening others to validate similar experiences without fear. The fashion world, protective of its intricate loan systems, appears to have collectively closed ranks, leaving Meghan's once vaunted style influence facing unprecedented scrutiny and isolation from the sun-drenched confines of Montecito. Sources describe profound bewilderment and quiet frustration over the escalating backlash. She reportedly views the entire controversy as a colossal misunderstanding, rooted in the stark differences between Hollywood's freewheeling celebrity culture and the more rigid, protocol-driven world of British fashion and royalty. In America, where Meghan cut her teeth as an actress on sets and red carpets, borrowing designer pieces, often samples or loaned items for shoots, was commonplace, sometimes evolving into informal keepsakes or gifts. As a thank you for the exposure provided, insiders whisper that Meghan genuinely believed her actions fell within these accepted norms. High-profile photo shoots frequently involve pulls from designers eager for visibility, and it's not unheard of for talent to retain certain pieces, especially if custom-fitted or unlikely to be resold. Her team's defences often cite privacy concerns and a desire to prevent items from hitting resale sites like eBay. This mindset, sources say, is a protective instinct honed in the cutthroat LA scene, where paparazzi and opportunists lurk around every corner. But here's where the cultural collision becomes truly fascinating. Meghan's American lens appears to filter everything through a prism of entitlement earned via fame and hard work. Sources suggest she viewed her rising status, first as a royal duchess, then as a global influencer, as creating a vested interest in the pieces she wore. Much like she once argued her royal service entitled her to certain honours, she reportedly extended this logic to fashion promotion. Through her appearances, she justified retaining items, turning loans into quasi-ownership. The irony is deeper than anyone in her camp anticipated. This is the same woman who in past interviews downplayed materialism and titles as meaningless, yet now finds herself clinging to associations with luxury designers. Amid a fading spotlight, sources reveal growing panic in Montecito, collaborations drying up, and public perception shifting. Re-wearing older pieces serves as a desperate reminder of past access and relevance. Consultants allegedly advise pivoting to purchased or custom items, but Meghan resists, convinced the narrative of grifting is manufactured by jealous British circles, unwilling to accept her independent success. What Meghan apparently fails to grasp is how her perspective blinds her to the professional fallout. In the tight-knit fashion industry, trust is currency. Catalogued loans protect stylists, assistants, and emerging designers from financial hits. Her alleged pattern has left a trail of resentment, with word spreading quietly through magazines and fashion circles. American informality clashed catastrophically with British propriety, where even gifted items carry expectations of reciprocity and transparency. Legal experts close to the discussions dismiss any potential recourse. Loaned garments aren't personal property, and challenges would only highlight the misunderstanding, inviting further embarrassment. Meghan's confidence reportedly urged discretion, warning that doubling down risks alienating the Hollywood allies she still needs for reinvention. Yet she remained steadfast, viewing Victoria's statement not as validation of industry grievances, but as petty betrayal from a former friend aligned with the establishment. The deeper tragedy, insiders suggest, is Meghan's isolation in this worldview. Surrounded by yes people echoing her entitlements, she struggles to see how her actions appear from the outside. Entitled, ungrateful, and out of touch, as doors close and whispers grow louder. Her American dream of boundless opportunity collides with the reality that some bridges, once burned, remain ashes, especially when cultural chasms go unrecognized. What was meant as savvy self-protection now threatens to define her post-royal legacy, a cautionary tale of perspectives failing to bridge divides. Public reaction to Victoria Beckham's statement has been swift and unforgiving, crystallizing a narrative simmering for years. Social media exploded as users dissected every word. No contact whatsoever, not since the dress incident. Unwavering loyalty to the British royal family. What was once whispered in fashion circles and royal watcher forums has now burst into mainstream discourse, with hashtags trending worldwide and memes portraying Meghan as the ultimate entitled borrower. The shift in perception is profound and accelerating. Recent polls from late 2025 paint a damning picture. In Britain, Meghan's favourability hovers around a dismal 17 to 20%, placing her alongside controversial figures like Bill Cosby and Ellen DeGeneres in public esteem. Across the Atlantic, slightly higher at 46%, yet still teetering. In some US surveys, her image eroded further, topping lists as one of the most disliked celebrities of 2025. Sources close to polling firms suggest this latest scandal has pushed her net approval into deeper negatives, with many respondents citing entitlement and grifting as key reasons. Insiders reveal even former supporters and neutral observers are distancing themselves. The Beckhams' polished, hard-working persona, David's charitable work with the King's Foundations, and Victoria's resilient brand building stands in stark contrast to what critics now label Meghan's pattern of perceived opportunism. Fashion commentators note how Victoria's words have emboldened others. Designers who once lent pieces generously now speak anonymously of similar frustrations, wary of associating with someone whose actions allegedly undermine industry trust. The broader public narrative has flipped dramatically. Where Meghan was once seen by some as a fresh, modern addition to royalty, championing causes and breaking barriers, she's now increasingly viewed as disconnected from professionalism and gratitude. Sources suggest this incident has united skeptics across political and social lines, from royalists defending institutional propriety to everyday consumers fed up with celebrity excess. Online forums buzz with comparisons. Victoria's quiet endurance versus Meghan's alleged demands for freebies, the Beckhams' wealth earned through grit versus claims of exploiting connections. Even in Hollywood, whispers grow that Meghan is difficult to work with. Reports of unreturned items have jeopardized potential collaborations. The human element resonates deeply. Victoria's statement isn't framed as a vicious attack, but as factual recounting, humanizing designers who lend with trust, only to feel exploited. Public sympathy tilts toward her, viewing the Beckhams as victims of ingratitude, while Meghan's camp reportedly scrambles with denials. Sources say the damage is done, reinforcing an image of someone who claims victimhood while allegedly taking advantage. This scandal has crystallized public fatigue. Years of controversies, from royal exits to media battles, culminate here in something tangible. Unreturned dresses symbolizing a broader perceived overreach. Polling experts predict further declines into 2026, with Meghan's fashion forays now scrutinized through a lens of distrust. The shifting narrative is clear. From admired style icon to cautionary tale of entitlement, Victoria's words have provided the catalyst, uniting critics in a consensus that's hard to reverse. As one insider put it, this isn't just about clothes. It has exposed a fundamental clash of values, alienating vast swaths of the public. As dust settles, Meghan faces a redefined reputation. Doors once open are now cautiously closed, collaborations scarce. Sources predict a pivot to owned wardrobes, avoiding loan dramas. Victoria emerges stronger, her brand thriving, loyalty rewarded. Her statement closes a chapter exposing long-hidden truths. Ultimately, this saga reveals the cost of entitlement in elite circles. Meghan's alleged habits, confirmed by Victoria Beckham, mark a humiliating turning point, transforming her from admired style icon into a cautionary tale. The fashion world moves on, but echoes of unreturned dresses linger, reminding everyone that trust, once broken, leaves a permanent scar. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment if you want more behind-the-scenes royal fashion scandals like this.